And welcome back. As Illinois lawmakers demand President Trump keep the National Guard out of Chicago, the administration has requested a military base in the state support immigration operations. On the issue of federal takeovers, Washington, D.C.'s Democratic Mayor Muriel Bowser, who had criticized President Trump's use of the military in policing the district, had some unexpected praise for the heavy law enforcement yesterday.
This federal surge has had a significant increase on crime in Washington, D.C. And we greatly appreciate the surge of officers that enhance what MPD has been able to do in this city.
And earlier, I spoke to the Illinois Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton on the president's threats to deploy the National Guard to Illinois and about immigration. I want to start by asking about what you think about this news that the Trump administration wants to use a military base near Chicago to help with deportations. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, this is an example of Donald Trump trying to manufacture chaos here in Chicago and the state of Illinois. And it's a real example of him trying to normalize a military presence on American soil. It is not normal. We have spoken out very clearly here in Illinois and in the city of Chicago that we are not going to sit idly by to watch this wannabe dictator try to come into our state and into our city and try to just bring his chaos. He is a weak man who wants to be the center of attention, and this is just another page out of his authoritarian playbook. And we will speak out and we will fight back and we will do everything that we can here in Illinois to protect our people.
And I assume that you are referring to what the governor described in the potential of National Guard troops in a city like Chicago. I do want to ask you, though, Washington, D.C.'s Mayor Muriel Bowser yesterday talked about some of the crime statistics here in Washington in light of the National Guard's presence, and she acknowledged that they have actually been pretty successful in preventing crime. And I'm wondering what you make of her assessments about the National Guard presence in a city like Washington, as it could happen in a place like Chicago.
Well, what I can speak to is what is actually happening in Chicago. And here in Chicago, crime is down. There's more work to do, certainly, and there will be, just like any city or town across the country. But we are making progress. We know that the way that you address crime is by looking at the root causes, and it's not solved by having soldiers in the street. And that's what Donald Trump wants to do, cause chaos. And that's not going to be for the reason of promoting public safety, but it's for his own purposes. You know, if you really want to look at what people are asking for, they're asking for access to affordable health care. They're asking for affordable housing. They want to make sure they can put food on the table to feed their children, but it's not going to benefit anyone for the federal government and for Donald Trump to send troops to Chicago, federalized National Guard, with no coordination with our state, not something that we asked for. We have business community members, philanthropic leaders, faith leaders, and of course, elected officials and other community leaders who have been working on this issue of public safety collaboratively for a number of years. We're making progress, and what Donald Trump is trying to do is to just stoke fear, pit us against each other, and cause chaos, and we're not going to stand idly by and let it happen.
But I'm wondering if what Mayor Bowser said yesterday, I mean, even I was surprised by some of the numbers that she was talking about. I'm wondering if that's changed your view of this at all. The fact that a D.C. city mayor, a Democrat, has said that this has been a successful effort in the city.
To me, it's when you see the rise of authoritarianism, it is not about, to me, a successful effort where I will take my daughter, my 9-year-old, to school and she will see a tank or see people armed guards walking down the street. I don't think it's a successful effort when you see business owners, restaurants, and other small businesses who have armed guards patrolling the street. It's going to have an impact, just as it did in DC, by the way, on tourism. It's going to have an impact on their business community, and it's going to have an impact on the everyday lives of residents. It is not something that should be normalized. If we really want to focus on safer communities, that is work that we can do in collaboration. If the federal government and Donald Trump want to help address the issue of violence in Chicago or anywhere else, they should release the violence reduction money that they've been holding back, $800,000 that should be coming to the state of Illinois, which the Trump administration has held back. That would help us, but not just deciding unilaterally to come to our city and our state.
Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, thank you very much.